Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of corporate filings so you don't have to. Today we're diving into a proxy statement. Now don't let the name fool you, it's not just about voting, sometimes it's about mergers, acquisitions, and who gets to keep their job afterwards. Prepare for a deep dive into NeueHealth's proxy statement, where it looks like someone's planning a takeover. This document is essentially NeueHealth's invitation to its stockholders for their annual meeting. But it's not just a friendly get-together, it's where some serious decisions will be made, including electing directors and ratifying their accounting firm. A key thing in this meeting is a merger with a company indirectly controlled by New Enterprise Associates, or NEA. This means NeueHealth might become a private company soon. The board is urging everyone to vote, emphasizing that their input is crucial. It also briefly introduces NeueHealth, explaining that they focus on value-driven, consumer-centric healthcare through their clinics. We find out here that NeueHealth is planning a merger with NH Holdings Acquisition, a subsidiary indirectly controlled by NEA. If the deal goes through, NeueHealth will become a wholly owned subsidiary of NH Holdings. In other words, NEA will take over the whole company. Now let's look at what's on the agenda. Stockholders will vote on electing 10 directors, ratifying Deloitte and Touche as their accounting firm, and giving an advisory vote on executive compensation. It also specifies that the meeting will be virtual, which is now a pretty standard way to hold these kinds of meetings. Here the board clearly states how they want you to vote. They're recommending that stockholders vote for their director nominees, for ratifying Deloitte and Touche, and for approving the executive compensation. So basically, they want everything to stay as is. To participate in the annual meeting, stockholders need to visit a specific website and enter a control number. Also, to vote, you need to have been a stockholder on April 28. The first proposal is the election of directors. The proxy statement lists all 10 nominees and gives a short biography for each. It also mentions what qualifications make them suitable for the board. Kedrick Adkins, for example, contributes his experience as an executive at major healthcare companies, while Linda Gooden brings her experience in information technology and information security. The second proposal seeks to ratify the appointment of Deloitte and Touche as their independent accounting firm for the next fiscal year. The board thinks keeping Deloitte is in the best interest of the company. The last proposal is about executive compensation. It's a non-binding vote, meaning the board doesn't have to act on it, but they will consider the results. The board believes their compensation practices align executive pay with the company's performance and the interests of the stockholders. Here we learn about the board's role in overseeing risk management. The audit committee reviews the company's business and reports any risks and mitigating factors to the board. The audit committee has members such as Kedrick Adkins, Manuel Cadre, and Linda Gooden. It monitors the quality and integrity of financial statements, compliance with laws, and the performance of the internal audit function. It states here that none of the executives are on the compensation committee. The people on the compensation committee are independent, so there are no conflicts of interest. The board has determined that all directors other than Mike Mikan, the CEO, and Robert Sheehy are independent according to NYSE rules. Here is the compensation for the top executives. Mike Mikan, the CEO, made almost $13 million in 2024 with a base salary of $1.3 million and a bonus of over $5 million. Tomas Orozco made around $6.6 million and Jay Matuszyn bonuses and stock awards. For Mr. Orozco, a significant part of his compensation is from the cancellation of profits interests in RRD Healthcare worth millions. While the company is required to record it as compensation, they don't consider it as such. Now let's take a quick look at some equity awards. As of December 31, Mikan still has exercisable options from 2019. If he left now, how many options would he take with him? A lot. This section gets interesting as it details what happens if there's a change in control, like a merger or acquisition. If Mikan gets terminated without cause or leaves, for a good reason, he's entitled to a hefty severance package. According to Mikan's employment agreement, he'd get 2 times his base salary plus target bonus, as well as continuation of benefits. The compensation committee aims to align executive pay with the company's performance and the interests of its stockholders. This section explains the different elements of the pay package, including base salary, bonuses, and equity awards. The board made no base salary increase for any of their named executive officers. The company has a clawback policy allowing it to recover compensation from executives in case of a financial restatement. This is meant to discourage executives from taking unnecessary risks. The company has guidelines on ownership that align the interests of board members and executives. Here, the filing dives into the relationship between executive pay, shareholder return, and net income. In 2024, Miken's compensation was about $13 million, while the average compensation for non-CEO executives was about $4.9 million. But check this out. Total shareholder return, TSR, was only 0.50s, was about $4.9 million. While the average compensation for non-CEO executives made a lot of money, while shareholders barely broke even. Deloitte, the accounting firm, billed almost $2.8 million in 2024, mostly for audit fees. The audit committee oversees the financial reporting process and recommends the inclusion of the financial statements in the annual report. We see here that certain stockholders have registration rights. This agreement allows some major stockholders to register their shares with the SEC, allowing them to sell those shares publicly. This benefits the major stockholders such as New Enterprise Associates and Bessemer Venture Partners, who both own more than 5% of the company. It spelled out that NeueHealth entered an agreement to merge with a subsidiary of NEA. The main takeaway from this is that NEA is getting ready to acquire NeueHealth. Lastly, let's look at who owns the most shares. NEA controls a large portion of the company, about 57%. Bessemer Venture Partners owns over 12%. This shows the power that some major players like NEA and Bessemer have in company decisions. Okay, so what's the real story here? From the filing, it appears that NeueHealth is in the process of being acquired by NEA. The company may be on the right track, but NEA wants more control. The financial information suggests that while executives are well compensated, shareholders haven't seen great returns. Despite the talk of equity, the power lies in the hands of these big investment firms. It's a common story where control and potentially profits shift from public hands to private ones. So while the company claims to be focused on people, it appears that the primary focus is on larger shareholders. That's the corporate decoder. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more corporate insights.